5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ¡Yeah! ¡Vámonos! ¡Arriba, arriba! ¡Yeah!
Jeez.
Buenos días, gatos. ¡Yeah!
How racist is that show now that I'm thinking this back?
Oh, yeah.
Cartoons are so racist.
Yeehaw!
Welcome to Running Beer and BS, a podcast where we discuss those things and more. I'm Flores.
I'm Johnny.
And this is episode 22.
Hey-o, double deuce.
Double deuces. With them dimes. What do they call it?
You idiot.
What do they call it? The 22-inch rims?
Dubs?
Dub deuces. I think it's literally because you're rolling on dubs, that's 20s.
Rolling on dubs.
Dub deuces.
Dub deuce.
22s. Sure. I don't know why I went into that.
I remember when I was a kid, the big thing was those triple dip Dayton's, son.
The what?
Triple dipped Dayton's. You had the 100-spoke wheels.
Ah.
And then you had it was all gold. Dayton was a name brand of wheels you could get.
Okay.
There's like, if you watch like Friday.
There's like 10-inch rims.
No, you're fucking 20s. But
Really?
you had like the low profile tires on it and everything like that. So it made it. But like when you watch like Friday, when he's coming around the corner, he's on that 3-wheel action.
Yeah.
Those are triple dips on that.
Huh. See, I'm learning stuff here. That goes back to our podcast, a decade between.
Because we are straight OG out there in fucking Triad.
You know we do. But yeah, this is episode 22. Today we're talking about Mohican. We're continuing our talk about race history and races and that sort of thing. And Mohican has come up because Mohican is next week.
Fuck, I love Mohican.
It is coming up quick. I think this is... Well, you're not doing it this year. This is probably the first year.
First year in 4 years, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I've done it three?
Yeah, the last 3.
I've done it the last 3 years.
200s and the 50.
Yeah. No, not this time.
Yeah, so...
But I will be there for like the vast majority of it.
I'm hoping to be out there. But we'll talk more about Mohican in a second. But first, as always, what's dehydrating us, John?
Yeehaw! That's what's dehydrating us.
Yeehaw.
I don't think it's that kind of yeehaw, you schmuck. It's like hillbilly yeehaw.
It's the same yeehaw.
No.
Is there a different yeehaw?
Yeah.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
I thought
for sure.
I think it all comes from the same...
I'm pretty sure if you
basis.
go into Appalachia and try to drop them like so, they will let you know too. No, but while he Googles if there's a difference between the two different yeehaws, I will tell you about the Yeehaw Brewing. It's their Dunkel that we are having today. It is a fine Southern beer, and I got to tell you, man, this is their Dunkel. This is really good. It's a really good beer, and it did win. I mean, it's funny because like the way this beer was discovered and brought to us is kind of funny, but it is a bronze award winner for the World Beer Cup 2016. So.
Yeehaw makes some very, very delicious beers. They're out of Nashville, yeah. I went to their brewery. I think they have a tap room right on the main drag in Nashville, like Music City Row or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
They've got some really good beer. So
it's funny because so the way this beer was brought to us was Jamie Farley, Chaz Adams were down running Dark Sky 50 miler, and Ronnie DeLozier is down there pacing not pacing, crewing them. And in true lush fashion before the race, I believe, not after the race, before the race, they were in search of some beer to drink the night before, and they were in some like super shitty gas station in Tennessee, and they had their what you would expect to find in a super shitty gas station in Tennessee. Macro beers, and like they looked over and like I guess all three of them had the same thought at the exact same time that we gotta score some of this and take it back to the guys for the podcast.
We appreciate you thinking of us.
And super. So we've had this in the rotation for a minute. We've been waiting to get to it.
So I need to correct myself. I have had Yeehaw. They're in Johnson City, Tennessee, outside of Knoxville. They do distribute all the way out there, and I don't know, maybe I had it at a bar over there, but I want to correct myself because I did some Googling.
You're a fucking liar.
I'm a liar, apparently. 4 minutes into the episode, I'm already lying to you.
Filthy animal.
Yeah, just wait until the rest of the episode.
That is a super, super good beer. We have like I said, we have the Dunkel. It is a really, really good. I actually enjoy this a lot. And what's super
is it? A 5.5%.
5.5, yeah. And it comes in a 16-ounce pounder. So you gotta love it when it comes into.
Yeah. I like the simple can. Like,
dude,
you know,
I am so far on board with the canned beer now, and especially the 16-ounce pounders. Like,
did you see their slogan?
You'll say it when you drink it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeehaw! So looking up yeehaw, it's actually a Southern United States and Texas cowboy kind of thing. So in theory, that like the Speedy Gonzales thing, that's not far off. That's not. Apparently, that's like the origins of it. Is that not redneck?
The etymology.
Is that a word?
Etymology is just the study of words.
Edamame.
I had a poke bowl tonight from Molly Woo.
I had to look at where that was at. That's in Polaris, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not my favorite restaurant, but it's not bad. But I've never had a poke bowl before, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
But I had edamame in it.
Edamame. I love
super good.
Snacking on some
Dude,
edamame.
I love edamame. I like it when it's super unhealthy with salt, though.
Well, that's the only time you should have it.
Yeah.
Is when it's completely like, I want more MSG.
It's a super, like, it's like a superfood that
yeah.
Leave it to Americans, be like, fuck that, drown that bitch in salt, then serve it up.
Like, how can we make this American?
Just shy of,
I'm very confused.
Just shy of deep frying that motherfucker. They're like, fuck it. Bathe that bitch in salt.
Deep fry edamame. That sounds like really good.
Dude, you could, I mean, if you hand popped all of them out, right? So you just had the actual, not in the shell.
Not in the shell.
But if you just had like the peas, the pods, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
The actual edamame itself.
The pea sounds right.
And then deep fry those fuckers.
We'll deep fry anything. I got the fryer here. Let's go get some edamame. We're going to Kroger. Gonna get some edamame.
Get some edamame and deep fry that bitch. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Or we just go to any Chinese restaurant or any, it's not Chinese, it's Japanese? Is that edamame?
Yeah, Japanese edamame.
Yeah, so we just go there and like, you have a fryer.
I need you to hand pop all these
out.
And then deep fry.
I want like 100 of them.
They are not the most filling things ever.
No, they're not. Sure. You just keep eating them, but that's it. So we have a delicious beer from Yeehaw Brewery.
Yeah.
And thanks guys again for thinking of us and bringing it by. We're finally getting to a lot of the beers that people had gotten for us. So we appreciate you guys doing this, but we're trying to play catch up.
We still have the two.
We have 2 from Jesse.
Yeah, 2 from Jesse. Still, from.
And then I still have 1 from Oklahoma.
Speaking of Jesse, I was out in. Let's just do. We can go ahead and catapult that right on into our weekly catch up. I was out in Jesse's neck of the woods all day yesterday. Well, good fortune.
I saw that
Springs.
You were drinking some beer because Chad and I
drank a lot of beer yesterday.
We were at Zaftig and we saw we're like, where the hell is that cafe at? And we looked at like Yellow Springs. I'm like, what the hell is John doing in Yellow Springs?
I drank so much fucking beer yesterday. So yesterday, it was a great day. So me and Cheesy Nuts did a little run yesterday. We had he is in full blown taper, so we got just shy of 10 in yesterday at High Banks. And then while we're running, he's like, "Hey, by the way, man, I got to help you with this. I got to help you with this chore afterwards. I got to make it kind of quick because we're gonna go out to Yellow Springs for the Arts Festival." I said, "Get the fuck out of here!" We're heading out to the Arts Festival out in Yellow Springs. He's like, "Well, shit, yeah, we'll just the families will hang out there." So we got out there. I don't know. We got out there early afternoon. Between 1 and 3. We probably got out there.
Yeah.
Had some in Yellow Springs, man. I am telling you, that is the coolest weird little city ever. I mean, it is just fucking fabulous. And then you take it. It's normally kind of a weird, very laid back, hippie-ish kind of city, and then you put an art festival in that motherfucker, dude. Oh,
that's all you need. It fills the thing
outstanding. So there was speaking of Cheesy, like I said, he is out there with his family, and I saw later on he posted this on Facebook as they were walking up to the art festival. They're like kind of on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
There was enough of there was a aroma, if you will, in the air. And his son, I think his son's like, something smells delicious. I was fucking rolling, man. Oh, like, that's the devil's lettuce, son. That's fucking so funny. I'm like, that is outstanding. So, anyways, yeah, we hit up.
You have to remind me about that because I got something to say on my side. Yeah.
So we ended up hitting up. We hit up the Winds, had a beer there. Yellow Springs Brewery's out there. We hit up the Yellow Springs Brewery, had a beer there.
How was that? How was that place? Because we talked about going there when we talked with the guys at Taft's.
Yeah.
Heading out there and like recording and stuff.
It would be. It's a little small to record it. Now it is a little small, but it is pretty cool place. I mean, it's pretty cool. The only thing that kind of surprised me is when I went there and I wanted one of their beers off tap, I thought maybe I'd be able to get something that I can't normally get, you know?
Something that they don't bottle.
Yeah, and I think I've had like all the beers they had. I'm like, that kind of sucks. But, you know, but I mean, their beer's pretty good. Like I enjoy most of their beers. There's one in particular that I had yesterday that I thought was just outstanding. There's Saison Day something, but they're from Saison. It was super good. But anyway, so
I don't think I've had much of their stuff.
It's not like it's pretty solid. I mean, they don't have anything that's like. It's funny because like the one beer I did have there, it was supposed to be a hoppy wheat beer, and even that, by a lot of people's standards, was not uber hoppy, but it was still pretty good. But so we hit up there, and then after there we walked up to Haha Pizza. And I guess I've never realized Haha Pizza doesn't serve beer. Like so,
Captain Stardust was the saison you had.
Yes, God, that thing is super good. Yes, that one was.
Sorry, I just looked up your Untappd.
Yeah. So yeah, Captain Stardust from Yellow Springs Brewery is super, super, super good. So then we went to Haha. Haha doesn't serve beer. So darn, we had to walk across the road and get like beer from like this little like wine
corner
and beer
store
shop. Yeah. And they had a beer there, like, so we're kind of putting together our 6-pack to walk back over across the way.
Yeah.
And they had a 6-pack of 6-pack from Rock Mill Brewery, but they didn't have any Lucy's.
Okay.
So I walked back up to the counter. I said, "So,
did you make your own 6-pack?
We have a little thing. I don't want to be too much of a trouble." She's like, "You want to break the 6-pack of Rock Mill, don't you?" I'm like, I mean, if it's not too
much of an issue.
She's like, "Go ahead. No big deal whatsoever." And I walk back and I pop it, and Chaz is like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah,
like,
you would.
And he's
Did you drop the line, but I have a podcast?
No, but he's like, he's talking to the lady at the counter. He's like, "You should have never given that fucker permission to do that. Like, we are not going to hear the end." And then she's like, "Well, I mean, it's the beard." He's just so charming. I'm like, "Yeah, baby." He's like, "Oh, you got to be fucking kidding." Now I'm really there. So anyway, we walk back over to Haha. Ate pizza next to maybe one of the highest human beings I've ever seen in my life. Like, homeboy's pupils look like frisbees. I mean, he was tripping all kinds of balls. So that was fun. We watched a dude play guitar with a horse head on his, like, he had a horse head like mask on. He had
okay.
a mask. You know what I'm saying?
That typical horse head one.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there playing guitar, and like there's a dude standing next to him, and just in full zombie mode, staring at him, like staring holes through. Like I couldn't tell if the dude was like just really appreciating the music, or if he was like truly like fucked up over the fact that a horse head,
like he was like a horse is playing the guitar.
Yeah. So like that dude was all that. So it's funny. It's like Chaz calls me. And he doesn't realize I'm behind him by about a few hundred feet. He doesn't realize. And I'm sitting there watching this, and Chaz is like a few hundred feet down the other side of the road watching it.
Yeah.
You got to see this. I'm like, no, I think we're staring at the same thing right now.
We're both looking at it.
Here is what's fucking crazy. The dude that we are sitting here, what's funny, we're not even watching the dude with a horse. Like, fuck, never mind the dude with the horse.
No, you're just watching the other people.
I am watching the dude who's too fucking high to know what's going on.
Right.
Like,
just staring at the guy.
Here's what's crazy. After all the eating and drinking we did at the art festival in Yellow Springs, we obviously had to hit up Young's Dairy on the way out on 68, right? So we get the ice cream. We're walking out of the fucking goat barn. The fucking dirty ass, nasty goat barn. Here comes the super high dude walking out of the goat barn with no shoes on. I'm like, where the fuck is homie's shoes at? Like,
he doesn't know. He has no idea where his shoes are.
So fucking high. I'm just, "Hi guys. What's going on, guys?" So That was yesterday, and then today I did the progression. Well, I attempted the progression 6-mile run that I completely shit the bed on, but hey, still had a good time. You know,
that's all right. John talked about that a little on Facebook.
That was on the social. So you know, even if you shit the bed on a training run, just kind of fuck it, make it the best of what you can out of it, and keep going on. But outside of that, that was pretty much my week. Are you still kind of laying low and let your Achilles?
I'm letting my heel heal.
You're letting your heel heal. See, I tried to switch that to Achilles because I thought that sounded. Are we live right now?
We're about to be.
Oh shit!
Just because.
Why fuck it? Why not?
What? Yeah. What's
2,
the worst?
1. Here we go. Cheers. All right.
Sorry, we went for a little live on Facebook. I was trying to be smooth with it, and John's like, "Are we about to go live?"
I don't know. I feel like dropping that dime.
Yeah.
So you're okay. So are you still letting it?
So I'm still letting it heal a little bit. Which weird is it's not as much as my Achilles anymore, but like on the inside.
Yeah.
Like near that heel bone, like it's kind of like a little tender. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to try a few miles, maybe like 1 or 2 miles just to loosen it up.
Just to see if it is like.
Yeah, and like, is it still bothering me or is it really just sore? Because my calves are still sore, which makes sense.
Like to the touch?
No, to like, not like tender sore, like they're just beat up.
Yeah.
Like I ran 100K.
Yeah.
Like that's what they feel like.
You did?
Say what? Or like Dr. Mike said, like for ultra running, you're sure doing a lot of walking.
What a dick.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Fuck you, Speed.
Okay, you can stop with that, okay?
Now, but later on, he did make the comment.
Yes.
Oh, this is kind of hard. I don't know how you guys do this.
He's like, I don't know how you do this for 50 miles before I picked you up. So yeah, no, he was definitely just trying to get under my skin to make me run a little faster, but
because Pacers.
Oh, Chad. So. You're talking about the devil's lettuce. Is that
the devil, yeah, the devil's yeah.
So
I love calling weed that, by the way. I don't know why.
Jason and Nikki are they're actually in Colorado right now.
Yeah. I saw. Yeah.
So Nikki had to pick up a memory card from me at work, and she had the girls in the car. And she comes up there and like it was like, hey, it's right before they're about to fly out. I'm like, all right. I go, all right, girls, make sure mommy and daddy don't eat any gummy bears. And they're like, why can't they eat gummy bears? I'm like, you just make sure mommy and daddy don't eat any gummy bears. And I go, and make sure you tell your daddy that Jonathan said that. Nikki is like trying her hardest not to lose her shit as I'm talking to her because I'm like, these girls have no idea.
They have no clue.
No, but they're up there in fair play, like a little further north.
They probably never would even partake in that, would they?
I think the last time they were in Colorado, they were with his parents, so they didn't. I don't know if they want me sharing any of this.
Hi, surprise.
Sorry, guys, surprise.
Everybody knows your dirty habits.
Oh, Doug Heil. What's up, buddy?
Doug. Oh, God, I love me some Doug Heil.
Got a bunch of people joining us on the live. But, yeah, I mean, I'm really just trying to take it easy. Kayla's out of town, so I've just been really like hanging out, cleaning up the apartment, trying to it's weird. I did a bike ride on Friday. It felt pretty good. I've got a nice, pretty good loop. I've got like a 7-mile loop where I start here, go down 23. There's all sidewalks, and I hit the Olentangy. I go all the way down to Worthington, hit the Olentangy.
Right there right there off from Wilson Bridge.
That's my return. I go all the way down to 161.
Okay.
Catch it there and come back up at Wilson's Bridge.
Yeah.
It's like 7 miles. And it's some good elevation change because it's a long descent down, and then you got that crazy hill on Wilson's Bridge. If you're on High Street, there should be a bike lane for you. Going down high in 23 and shit like that? I don't think there's one further down, like that far up. I think it's past Worthington is when you start getting, once you get towards Clintonville.
Yeah.
I think that's when the bike lane starts.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I mean, the sidewalk's not bad. I've been running in some of those neighborhoods too, because now with city strides, I was like, I got to get Worthington now.
Knocking out Worthington.
Worthington only has like 400 roads, like Worthington proper.
Yeah. Yeah, Worthington proper is pretty small, actually.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of me going back and forth going, what's this guy doing running in every cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Don't mind
creepy
me.
as shit.
Don't mind me at all.
Get on my flower bed.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So there was a story. I want to bring it up because I haven't gotten the answer to it yet.
Oh, man.
There was a story that was told on Facebook that Chaz, I need to pull it up. Because Chaz asked the question. Because you had posted the thing about your like sweaty ass run, Or like your run that did not go well.
Today's run.
Your progression run that you did today.
And then instead of just keeping his fucking mouth... Snitches get stitches, motherfucker.
Oh.
Instead of just keeping his mouth shut.
So he said something, and then Chaz... now I'm just saying his name. He hates when we say his name. Hates it. I don't really care.
Fuck you. You fucking deserve it now, dick.
Chaz.
And then what's even better is if we keep saying Chaz, Ronnie's like, hey, they're fucking talking about you a lot. So now Ronnie's going to be busting his balls about to say, Jamie's going to be So yeah, Chaz.
Yeah, so he goes, question, what should one do if he thinks his refrigerator has ceased working? Now, you guys remember, a week and a half ago now, you had to like transfer all of your beer, or a week ago, you had to transfer all of your beer because your refrigerator died.
Yeah.
I wrote, I'm hoping the story is that it was never broken at all. This sounds like a topic to talk about tonight, so let's talk about it.
So we're going to talk about
happened?
So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this on the premise of next week, though. Between tonight and next week, a beer bong will be made, and you'll beer bongo beer next podcast recording. A week from tonight, you'll beer bongo beer if we talk about this tonight.
Well, do you have a beer bong?
I can make one. That you're supposed to make them anyways.
Well, we'll figure that out.
All right. So here's fuck me. So here's the story.
All right. Later, guys, on Facebook. Thanks for checking it out.
So so I go out to get beer out of my refrigerator. I go out to get something or something, and like it's hot. So I'm like, fuck, the beer fridge died. So like you guys all know, moved all the beer into the inside the house fridge and all that kind of shit. Didn't think anything of it. Well, then I scoured Facebook Marketplace looking for a place to get a new fridge and all this kind of stuff. Track one down over in Dublin, and hey, I'll pay you this much for that. Get it from a guy. Go over and Chaz and I did our little run Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And then, hey, after that, we'll go over and pick it up from this guy's house. We'll take it, he'll help me, unload and all that kind of shit. So all that happens. And as we're unloading it and as we're rolling it into place into the garage, for some reason, it is at that point that I look over and I see another outlet in my garage. And seeing the outlet or making eye contact, and I'm not making eye contact.
Yeah, you made eye contact.
Seeing the outlet is when I realized, I didn't even fucking think about just trying to plug the fridge into another outlet. Now, what I did do, because I saw Chad Baxendale, his little short ass.
Talking about the circuit breaker.
Talking about the break. I did go down. I made sure that like a GFI wasn't popped.
Right.
I made sure that a breaker didn't pop. I did all that kind of shit. So I checked all the higher end shit, like the bigger scale shit.
The things that you would think it would be.
I checked all that. What I did not think is that, maybe it's something at the actual outlet level.
Okay.
I just didn't think of that. So I'm like, fuck. And
then, to be fair, I don't think I would have.
Right. So Chaz, though, instantly, I don't know, his fucking third eye or some shit like that felt me pondering this, or I said it out loud or something like that. He's like, tell me you fucking checked the outlet. And I'm like, no. He's like, holy shit. I really fucking hope we plug this refrigerator in, this new one in.
Powers on.
He's like, I hope we plug this new one in and it doesn't fucking work. Because we did check it at the other guy's house. We checked the person we bought it from. We made sure it worked. He's like, fuck, I hope we plug this bitch in and it doesn't work here. Obviously indicating that it's the outlet,
It's the outlet, not the fridge.
And I'm like, fuck you, and I'm like, come on, man. So we dragged that fucker over there and he plugs it in. I had the door open, waiting to see the beautiful glow of a light. I'm like, come on, motherfucker, come on. He plugs it in. He's like, well, I'm like, no. He's like, you simple motherfucker. He's like, I mean, the giddiness and joy in his voice.
Yeah, that it did not
over the
out.
fact that this motherfucker did not work. I'm like,
that is great.
Son of a bitch. And I'm like, well, fuck. And I'm like, well, might as well drag this other one over this other outlet and see if I might as well drag my old one over and see if it works.
Right.
Drag it over, plug it in.
Like a charm.
A fucker fired right up. And he's like, I cannot fuck him. I'm like, fuck you. I went down and checked.
So now you have 2 refrigerators?
I'm now the proud owner of 2 refrigerators. So
send us more beer.
So here's what here was what the decision is. So he obviously has mow this weekend. The following weekend, he is in vacation with his family. I think they were going to Florida, but they're on vacation.
Gotcha.
The weekend after that, so 3 weekends from this weekend, I think.
Okay.
We are making plans, or I'm at least making plans, and I think he's on board with it. I'm going to buy a kegerator set, like a kegerator kit.
Yeah. And just transform that.
And I'm going to turn my new one into a kegerator.
Okay. Sounds like a great idea.
Gangster. So
now we're going to do kegs each night.
So we'll have kegs. So, yeah, that was the experience. But the amount of, here's how loud and how overjoyed he was. Eric, the neighbor who lived between us, was sitting on his porch enjoying a beer. He came over and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
I get to hear it from somebody else
and
now.
I'm like, and Chad's like, "This motherfucker." It's like all on board with telling me what happened. I'm like, "God damn it!" And then of course, like both of these guys are also like master grade fucking electricians.
Right.
Well, do you have this to check it? Do you have that? I'm like, bitch, I don't even know what that is that you're talking about right now. So now all of a sudden they want to disassemble the fucking
the outlet.
So now now all of a sudden like they're fucking who was the fucking
Tim the Toolman?
Yeah, they're like it's like Tim the Toolman and the dude from This Old House. It was like it was like those two fuckers that all of a sudden like materialized out of nowhere. And like so, you know, we go down now. We have to kill the power because they want to disassemble shit. And then of course they take the outlet off and like, well, this is even the code. Look how low this is to ground. I'm like, hey, listen, dick. I'm not, you know, like both of them are going on about code, and I'm like, fuck you.
I don't care.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my god, this outlet is from some fucking place that's not even in existence anymore. I'm like, so what? It's a fucking outlet.
It's an outlet.
Well, this no wonder this motherfucker doesn't work.
Oh, gosh.
So of course Eric runs next door because he used to build houses or still like works in that industry. He runs back over. He has an outlet. They put that one on. They both think they're fucking king ding-a-lings. Guess what? The motherfucker still doesn't work.
Oh.
So now but the outlet that it's ran off from, it's working. So what's weird is it's like the outlet box seems to be good.
Okay.
But it's maybe the wiring between the two, which is kind of fucking weird. So I don't know. For all I know is I got a hot wire in my fucking wall of my house. A bitch gonna burn down.
It's gonna catch fire.
Hit me up, insurance. Come on, come through, USAA.
One thing I forgot to say with my week is yesterday, Baxton and I went to Zaftig.
Yeah.
And I had their Westerville Blue, which I had not had before.
I didn't know Zaftig had a Westerville Blue.
They basically made it. It's an honorary New England IPA. They basically made
hazy?
it. Yeah, they made it for the Westerville police officers.
Westerville Blue, the thin blue.
So like I think all of the proceeds like from the sales period that they did like a fundraising event. And I'm pretty sure it still goes on.
Yeah.
Because it's literally called an honorary New England IPA. That's what they call it.
Oh, cool.
It was delicious.
Really?
And then I had thought about the reason why it came up in my head is because Chad just messaged me. Zaptig just posted about the beer I think it's called Aline. It's ALINE, I think. It's a wheat beer.
Yeah.
It tasted like dirty feet.
And Chad was it dank?
I don't
those
remember
dank beers that is getting so you know most of the people who's listening to this probably understand like beers kind of come into style, come out of style.
Beer is different.
Yeah. So like how there for a little while Imperials were like the cool thing to be drinking, and then all of a sudden like hazy IPAs or New England IPAs are now the thing, and then like the dank IPAs became and then sours had their little flare up.
It's a pale ale.
Really, it's not even dank.
No, and it tasted like dirty feet. Well, they had just posted like we just bottled this, and Chad sent me like the like throwing up emoji. Zaftig does like everything well. They do really good, and it could have just been a dirty glass.
Maybe
it could be something as simple as a dirty glass.
It could have been a bad line, like maybe the line didn't get cleaned out or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Zaftig now is a mile and a half from me.
Right, so it's like you won't try it again.
Yeah, I'll be there again. But yeah, they're Westerville Blue.
So yeah, if you're into Columbus area, hit it up and support some thin blue line.
And it was really, really really good. Like I would have gotten another one, except I saw that other new beer on there. I was like, oh, I'll try that one too then.
And they got you some dirty feet.
And then it got me a little bit of dirty feet. But that's kind of our week. We ranted there for a little bit. There's some good stories to be had there though. But let's get into the main topic of the evening.
It is my favorite Ultra, I think. My favorite 100. Let's say that. It's my favorite 100.
Mohican. commonly referred to as Mo, and we'll probably just say Mo from here on out.
Because it sounds badass.
Yeah,
Mo 100.
Mo 100. So you guys may have seen the video. We talked about it a while back when John had finished it. We made a video talking about Mo 100, and then there's been a few other videos like that were overall with the race. It's from Ohio State, right? It's a team from Ohio State. They there's some students
with their horribly cheesy music.
Yeah, with the very cheesy music. But I mean, they put a decent production on. If they could learn how to fly a drone, it'd be better. But that's another story from my filmmaker side. But you can see there's a ton of videos about the races. But we're really just going to get into the race history and stuff like that. John knows more about it than I do, so take it away.
So, okay, Mo 100. So, where to begin? So, I will honestly say Mo to me is one of the most majestic places in Ohio. Like, there is just something about that place. You go out there and you can absolutely just... You can just be out there for the entire day and just not see anything duplicated. The race itself is, it's the 6th oldest 100 in the country. They'll try to tell you that they're number 5. They're saying that because Old Dominion.
Yeah, that and they had a break in between.
Old Dominion had a really long break. And because of that break, Mo's like, "Fuck you! You now fall behind us." Yeah. And I mean, it's the reality matters. Mo is number 6. It's been around since 1990, and the cool thing is, it is the number 2 leg of the Midwest Grand Slam. It's right after
now.
Kettle.
It is.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think Indiana was ever part of the Midwest Grand. It was part of the Super Grand Slam. But the Grand Slam...
I thought the Grand Slam you had to pick 4 of the 5.
Well, there's the Grand Slam is 4. It's Kettle, Mo, Hallucination, Burning River.
Well, see, I thought you picked 4 of the 5.
No, that would be if you do all 5.
If you do all 5, it's a super. But I thought you could pick 4 of the 5,
I don't know
and
if you
that
get
was
to
the
pick
grand.
your 4. I don't know if you get to pick your. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
That's a good question. So, anyways, it is definitely number 2 leg because it's after Kettle now because Indiana moved. So even if it was, how it was, it's moved. So going back to like what makes Mo super cool is. It's Ohio, right? So you don't really think of like huge like elevation and all this kind of stuff. The way Mo was formed is just really cool. Like if you've ever been there and you've ever ran, there is a juvenile. I think back in the day it's a juvenile prison. Now it's like a camp, but it's on the one side of the gorge, and if you were to look at an aerial view of it, straight across from the gorge from that is like the Forestry Division's like park offices.
Right.
Well, the cool thing about Mo and what makes it kind of unique and like the structure of it and like the gorge and all kind of stuff is there used to be a divide there. There used to be a landmass that ran there, and you had 2 rivers. One ran one direction, one ran off the other way from there. And then at some point, many fucking moons ago, like a glacier came and dammed up the one river.
Okay.
And what's odd is that glacier dam was actually where like the dam is now.
Where the dam is now.
And then so that one river that is dammed off like backflowed, and then it started running over into with the other river, and then so it eroded away that wall, that divide. And so that's what makes Mo really unique, like geographically speaking.
Okay.
Is it's one of the only hourglass shaped like gorges.
Huh.
It's really fucking weird. It's like shaped like an hourglass. So that's why it's shaped like that. And like that goes back to you can run there. I mean, you can do just like the long loop or the short loop, and
right.
You'll see like multiple like rock formations or like hills with like no vegetation going on it from where it's just sediment that got dropped off.
Yeah.
And like
I noticed that when I did the little bit of forget the PR that I did, that just like some back areas, like how diverse it is.
Yeah.
Like you can be in one section, it looks completely different than the next, and you're only a couple miles away from each other.
You get and like so like if you're up on Hickory Ridge, right? Like Hickory Ridge, like there's like one side of the ridge faces south, the other faces north. Well, if you're on the one side of the ridge, you'll have like deciduous trees, like you'll have like oaks and shit like that. And then you're up on the other side of it, it's like pine trees and cypress and shit like that, like different whole different things. And it's literally just because the way that gorge has been formed and shaped in like faces. So it's really cool that you can run there and get to see all this different kind of, so you never really get bored running there.
Right.
Like I mean, it'll kick your ass.
Yeah. 4 loops of it, which we'll get into some of the race. We'll get some of the race format in a bit.
So but you know, like then you have like sections of it, like Hogback Hollow, when you're down like on the river and like along the river, which unfortunately for a Mo 100 course, you don't run along the river. You run along like the contributing stream there,
right?
But you don't run in Hemlock. But on Hogback, down in there, I mean, they have ferns and like hostas and shit, that are fucking huge. I mean, they're like 3 and 4 feet tall ferns. I mean, they're absolutely monstrous. So it's just, I absolutely love running at that place. I just think that it's like so unique and so different the way it, you know, it's been formed and it's shaped and all that kind of stuff. Mark Carroll. So we were up there at Sheldon Campbell and Stephanie. Sheldon and Stephanie got married up there at Mo, and Mark was talking about he did like a little speech before their wedding, and he was telling us how, you know, on that, what we're talking about, how on the slopes you can be on one side and, you know, the grass or the vegetation is completely different, and it's just because, you know, you're flipping sides like that. So yeah, I mean, like a bunch of people have noticed this and kind of pointed out. I don't know. It's kind of a cool thing. What else is there?
Yeah. Do you have anything else with the trails itself? We can get into some of the race format stuff too.
So the only other really cool thing, and if you're cognizant of it, or if you're ever just if you're racing this weekend and you kind of think about it and you're cognizant of it, it'll be something you'd have to look for on the first or second loop. When you're up on Hickory Ridge, or if you're heading toward Hickory Ridge, if you look at the trees, they're all like perfectly uniformed, like they're in perfect straight lines. Mm-hmm. And so back in the 30s or 20s or 30s, whenever the Great Depression was.
20s.
Yeah. So there was a workforce that the federal government had devised where you'd basically go around and plant trees, or you do physical labor for like money. And like none of the labor was really like, I guess, necessary kind of shit. It was basically like almost, it was
basically
like,
to stimulate the economy and give jobs for something.
It was busy work just to give jobs, so you weren't like just getting handouts. Well, one of the things that workforce did is they went to Loudonville or Mohican and they planted, I mean, I don't know if tens of thousands of trees is right, but they planted
I'm sure.
They planted a fuck ton of trees.
There's a lot of acreage out there.
So if you go up there, it's really cool along Hickory Ridge. And if you're looking for it, you will immediately know where I'm talking about. The trees are just perfectly in uniform. But like,
and if they're not, it's because you're stumbling.
Yeah, you need to eat some more food. You need to hydrate and get some nutrition in you. But it's funny because like I guess the stories go like the Loudonville like natives like hated that work crew, like they hated them being there. They thought they were just a bunch of roughnecks and shit. Yeah. Hated them. But it's just, I mean, it's a bunch of really cool shit like that kind of makes that place kind of unique and interesting.
Yeah, there's a video that I think we wrote the notes. Was it Mohican the Longview?
The Longview,
it's on Vimeo. We'll post the link in the show notes on the website, but it's a really cool like historic video kind of talking about what John said, like the planning of that and like kind of everything that became of the trails. But I think we should jump into some of the actual like race stuff itself. So that's a lot about the trails and a little bit of the history of the trails themselves, but the race, the format of it itself, they have a marathon, a 50 miler, and a 100 miler. They all start at 3 different times. Does the marathon start much later now? Because it used to start.
Marathon starts at noon.
Has it always started at noon? I thought it was earlier.
It used to start. I think he's only been doing the noon start for a year or two now.
That's just brutal.
Well, and so I don't think it's going over well.
Well, I'm sure not.
I'm pretty sure it's been 2 years now. So Ryan, and I cannot think of Ryan's last name, but Ryan's now the race director for the race. And it's kind of he's kind of an interesting background. He's more of a mountain bike guy. So it's funny because if you go to Mohican's website, like it is mountain bike fucking galore.
Yes.
And it's hilarious because if I'm not mistaken, the 100, the trail race is way more profitable, I guess, than the bike races
bike
for
race?
him.
Huh.
But he still gives way more love to the bike because
I mean, if that's what he likes.
That was his background. Well, so anyways, Ryan, let's not even mix words about it. This is a 100. This is a profitable race. Like this. This is this dude's. This is how he makes a living. This is what he does for a living. So more power to him. Like I get it. At the same time, starting the race at noon, the marathon at noon. My understanding is he does that in hopes of getting the marathon finishers coming through at roughly the same time as a good chunk of his 50 milers are finishing.
Okay.
I think is why he's chosen to do that.
It makes sense.
Totally. Logistically speaking, it makes sense. Well, except for the small point where last year especially, they had a huge issue with ice and water availability.
It was super hot last year.
It was fucked up hot last year. And the general theory out there is that it was the marathon runners. I don't know why the marathon runners got pointed out like specifically. I think it's maybe because they start at noon. But like the theory was like all the marathon runners had come through and just like devoured and used up all the ice.
I mean, I could see that from the fact of, again, they're starting at noon.
Yeah.
And it's not this race is held in the middle of June, so you can have any sort of weather. You can have torrential downpours. You could have just crazy fog and then humidity because it's just sticking inside the trees, or it can just be hot as shit.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah.
And if you're starting at noon and you're basically getting beat down with the sun,
right?
You're like, I'm going to use this because I'm going to stay comfortable.
Yeah.
And you're, unfortunately, for the 50 and 100 milers.
And so here's the thing though, is he has got to be more flexible. He's got to, and I guess there's points where he's like, no, I've already bought the ice. It is what it is.
Right.
Like that's and like there is like people, my understanding, there's aid station captains making the call to go buy ice on their own dime. Like that's how fucked up it got last year. That is what I've heard.
Well, that's kind of
fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of a
so
dick move.
that's So that is what you're looking at there. What was the other?
Yeah, so we've got there's two general loops, so we call a long loop and a short loop.
Yeah.
The marathon obviously they're doing one long loop.
They do one long loop,
okay.
Which is so technically you can call yourself an ultra runner if you do most marathon
because it's like 27.
It's like 27 and change.
Yeah, so they do one loop. The 50 milers do two loops. They do a long and a short.
They do a long and a short,
and then the 100 miler does four loops. They do two long, two short.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, I've never done the 50 there, but I got to think the 50 at Mo would be perfect because you get to do both loops and you only got to do them once.
Right. You do. You get to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And you're done.
And if it's your first 50, okay, so here's where it gets kind of, if it's your first 50, I would actually present to you that it's a good 50 to start. Physically, it's going to fuck you up. It's going to kick your ass. So it's a hard 50. It's not going
to be the easiest 50
It won't be the
as your
easiest
first.
50, but it's a good 50 in the sense that you get a shit ton of
If you want to do an
it.
easy 50.
It'd be a good 50 to do first because you get 30 hours.
Yeah.
Because they start 2 hours.
They start 2 hours after.
They start at 7 a.m. And he just goes ahead and gives you until the 100 finishes.
Right.
So in that sense, it's a good.
You have plenty of time, so you don't have to worry about time cutoffs.
But it is an ass whooper.
But yeah, you wouldn't want to be out there for 30 hours doing 50
Oh
miles.
God, I can't imagine.
That would just.
That'd be brutal.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out there for 30 hours for 100.
But that's how it works. So, what's the difference between the loops? What's the major differences between those two?
So what's going to happen for all you lucky fuckers that's getting ready to encounter this thing Saturday is your loop 1 and loop 2 are pretty much identical. You're going to, so the difference between a short and long, you're going to go to the fire tower, right? From start to Gorge Overlook, start line to Gorge Overlook. Gorge is your first aid station.
It's like 5.5.
No. It's like 3. To Gorge,
seriously,
it's like 3.5.
It felt so long when we did that.
So from start to Gorge is 3.5 ish. That's your first aid station. Then you're gonna go from Gorge to Fire Tower. That is like 6 ish.
Okay.
because you should be at a grand total of 9. Obviously, math. You're gonna get to the fire tower. Now, this is where your long loop and your short loop change. Long loop, you're going to go up and behind, like directly behind or in front of, actually. You're going to go directly in front of the camp, the children's camp.
Okay.
And then you're going to kind of loop around on what they call the private property loop or the horse trails.
Okay.
The other way you can adequately describe the private property loop is it is where, in the middle of a fucking drought, the mud will be goddamn knee deep. That place is always, always, always muddy.
Yeah.
Like, it could, honest to God, it could not have rained for a month and a half. And that bitch is still knee deep mud.
Ugh.
Like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but you're going to go there, and then you're going to go down Big Lions Falls, which is amazing. Like, it is the prettiest thing ever. So you're going to go down, see Big Lions, and it's kind of neat. Like, if there's actually water running off from it, it's fucking awesome just to stand underneath that and chill out, cool out, and everything like that. Then you're going to make your way down to Little Lions Falls, and in years past, you've climbed up this route ladder. I'm pretty positive last year they took it out. I'm pretty positive they're officially taking it out of all races. I'm pretty positive it officially closed off the trail heading back up into it because fucking idiots were falling off the route ladders. Yeah, I mean, you had people doing dumb shit. I mean, just absolutely dumb shit.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So they closed off the route ladder, which I always thought was a really cool part of the race, but it's gone. Now you get to do...
And it's gone.
Now you get to do an absolutely leg-destroying switchback series up an extremely steep section, which brings you right next to the dam.
Okay.
So then you're going to run down the dam, you're going to run down the river for a mile, and then you're going to come back to the covered bridge. Okay. So once you get back to the covered bridge, your long loop and your short loop, again, are identical.
Okay.
So the only difference between short and long loop is basically private property section, the lions and the dam and all that kind of stuff up and through there. So you need to make your way back down to the covered bridge. In all my years in my 3 years of running there, the covered bridge is kind of like it is, I guess, the halfway point. Kind of, sort of, but it's also usually it's ran by the Gannon family.
Yeah,
that aid station is ran like military fucking precision. Like Bree Gannon runs that shit like her life is on the line with it. So later on, we're going to talk about some of the rock stars that run aid stations, and are just different rock stars of like Mo 100. Bree Gannon has got to get a shout out. She runs that aid station unbelievably well. So you leave there, and then you will absolutely get your dick knocked in the dirt, and you're going to do a brutal climb known as Hickory Ridge. We're going to go up that, and then you'll ultimately make your way back to Hickory Ridge Aid Station, which is ran by the Nerd Herd out of Toledo. What's funny, though, is everyone talks about how bad Hickory Ridge Aid Station climb is. Yeah. And it sucks because you got to climb Hickory Ridge 4 times. But on the long loop, there is a road that's, I mean, it's probably one of the furthest out points of the race you'll get. It's before you'll go. It's definitely before the falls, but I can't remember if it's before the super muddy section or not. But there's a road out there that has a hill on it. It's like a utility road that you have to go up. And I mean, that thing is just, I mean, it is an absolute soul crusher. Yeah. The first time you're like, oh, hey, this kind of sucks. And it is. It's long and it's fairly steep. And you're like, this hill is bullshit. And that's only doing it once. Right. You hit that son of a bitch the second time in the heat of the day on your second loop, and you're like, fuck me. Yeah. And the whole time you're thinking, thank God I've only got to do this bitch twice. Right. It is, I would actually, in my opinion, that hill is worse than Hickory Ridge. Really? It is.
Just because it's long, it's longer.
So fucking
Hickory Ridge is pretty steep.
It is.
But it's not that long. It just feels long.
When Hickory Ridge, you get switchbacks.
Right.
No switchback on this fucker. It is just, there's one gradual right-hand turn in it, but other than that, that bitch is straight up.
No, thank you.
And it is an ass kicker. So Hickory Ridge, and then you'll do like after you go through Hickory Ridge aid station, you're right back on the mountain bike path, like the actual mountain bike path section. You do get to go by the gnomes.
Yes.
So that is something to look for, guys. You will on your way before Hickory Ridge aid station. So after the climb, but before the aid station, on your right-hand side, there's going to be a tree. Now, you're going to have to be kind of looking back behind you to see it. But as you go by a mile marker 8 for the mountain bikers, after 8 and before 9, there's a hollowed-out tree that has gnomes in it. And it's just kind of become one of those, like, special places for runners. Yep. The gnome tree. Heathenistic mountain bikers.
Other than those.
Heathenistic mountain bikers seem to disrespect it. I'm just joking. I don't think it's mountain bikers.
Yeah, it's probably not the mountain bikers.
I
actually
think it's
kids.
hikers. Yeah,
some kids
hiking up through there. But it's just a cool thing. But so then you do the mountain bike section. You'll dump down off from that. You'll go into Class A. Or no, I'm sorry, not Class A. You'll go into a Mohican Adventures campground. And then you'll come back out to the aid station, the start-finish aid station. And then you're done with one loop. And then you're literally going to do that fucker all over again.
Yep.
And then
you do the shorter loop, like John said, cutting off the falls and the dam and that sort of thing.
So here is what kind of sucks. So the second loop, the third loop, third and fourth loop, the short loops, at the fire tower, you're going to cut across the road, like right underneath the fire tower, and you're going to hit this trail. And it is. And I talked about earlier. It's called Hogback Hollow.
Yep.
It is, honest to God, one of the. It might be the prettiest section of all of Mohican. And there's some hills back in that has some climbs in it that are kind of underrated too. That you're like, you don't even think about them because people are so concerned about other shit like these, and because they're much smaller, but they're pretty steep. They'll jump up and get you. There's 2 of them back there I can think of off the top of my head. But you do have some pretty good hills to bomb, some good downhills descents. But you'll get down into like the creek, like the feeder into the actual river. And that's where all the big ferns and hostas are and all that kind of stuff. It is gorgeous. I mean, it is just so fucking pretty. Now, what sucks is I only get to see that at night.
Right.
So as short of doing training runs and getting to see it during the daytime, but at night, third and fourth loop. Fourth loop, I guess.
It depends on when you're hitting it.
Awake enough.
But it depends on when you're hitting it.
Yeah, I think even on my fourth loop, I think I had gotten through fast enough that it was still dark even. Like it might have been right
darkish.
It was like twilight or like day, dawn. It is gorgeous down there. If it's raining, be super careful on the wood. That shit is slick.
Yeah. They put nets down and stuff on that stuff for now, like the wiring.
Yeah.
Still no?
That's bullshit.
I noticed it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like some of it. And what's funny is some of them have it, some of them don't. So
that's true.
It's kind of weird.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
But so let's say, and everyone that's doing it that we know, they're going to finish. It's going to be great. You're going to finish all 4 loops. You're going to come in. You're going to get this sweet ass belt buckle. The only thing sweeter than that sweet ass belt buckle is if you do it 10 times.
Just 9 more times, guys.
You just got to do it 9 more times. You know that misery that you did for close to 32 hours?
Golly days.
Do it 9 more times, and you get a sweet 1,000-mile buckle.
Yeah.
At the same time, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they say when you get your 1,000-mile buckle that your money is no longer good there?
I think so.
I think
I'm pretty positive it's free entry after that, after 1,000 mile. But I mean, shit, 10 of those, man.
There's a young dude that, 2 years ago.
He hit his 10.
He hit his 10.
I think he started like when he was in his 20s and he knocked him out.
He knocked him out quick.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, Mo is one of those weird places. There's a person I run with quite a bit I talk to, and he knows a runner that is like uber elite. Like she is super fucking talented. Like I think she has competitively, like on a professional, semi-professional or possibly professional level, has raced bicycles.
Yeah.
She's just a fucking stud ultra runner. And she has never finished Mo.
Really?
There's something about the rhythm of Mo that guys, do not sleep on this fire. It is a tough 100. So it's weird because I will fully admit the first year, okay, I DNF'd it. Second year, when I got my buckle, I will fully admit I was way too cocky about it thereafter. I'm like, oh, okay, I've knocked out 100. I've got this bitch figured out. I can do this, motherfucker. Now it's just all mind over matter. No,
until you got smacked in the face the next year.
Until that bitch woke up and like just beat me down the following year. It is a tough 100. But yeah, you do have people. I don't know how many people have a 1,000-mile buckle. I would say less than a dozen, maybe a dozen, plus or minus a couple.
I think there's probably close to like 15.
Yeah. So there is only one guy though.
Yeah, there is only one that is in the 20 clubs.
There is only one that's in the 20, and let's just be specific. 22.
22.
He has 22 Mo
and
finishes.
The race. So let's do in the math, guys. It started in 1990.
Yeah.
There's only been 27 of them.
Yeah.
And he's done 22 of them.
Golly days.
And so the crazy thing is when you see him, Ron Ross, when you see him running, you go, there is no way that guy's going to beat me.
Now, on that note, if Ron passes you, you are fucked. You better giddy up.
He knows, obviously, doing it 22 times, he knows where he has to be, when he has to be there. And yeah, if he passes you later in the race, you're pushing a cutoff.
Your back is up against the wall. The only other person I know that can time 100 better than him, and he'll be there this year also, and he has, I think he has a 1,000-mile buckle, is also Dick Canterbury.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
Dick Canterbury, I'm pretty sure he has a 1,000-mile buckle. Dick is another one that if Dick shuffles by you late in a race, you have better get on your giddy up because he is another one that can just absolutely time shit perfectly and get through it.
It's crazy when you see them early on that you're like,
no way is that motherfucker going to run me down.
There is no way this is happening. And then he just cruises on by, just fresh as daisies.
Yeah, another legend that is up there all the time. Running with Scissors, RD. God, his name always slips my Roy Hager.
Yeah.
Roy Hager's another one.
Yeah.
Guys, listen.
He's got to be up there in 2 numbers.
Oh, he's well over 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think he's close to 20.
He's probably creeping around the 20 mark too. But so here's a good rule of thumb: don't be like being Billy Badass and trying to out sprint these 3. But at the same time, if you're somewhere late into your 3rd or definitely on your 4th, and they go shuffling by you, know that cutoff line is not too far behind them. That sweeper, like the Grim Reaper itself,
they're finishing within the last hour and a half, 2 hours
for sure,
max.
For sure. Yeah, they are super phenomenal, solid runners. Another person who is like super famous up there and has been a integral part of Mo 100 for many years. I believe he's one of the original founders. I think.
Okay.
And it's Don Bond.
Yeah.
And I mean that dude is just like a plethora of knowledge about Mo. I mean, just Mo in general. Like, never mind the race, but like Mohican State Park.
Yeah.
That dude knows so much shit. If you ever get an opportunity to do a long training run with Don, take that opportunity all day, every day, and just absorb every ounce of information he has to give you. And then try to hang with him on downhills.
Yeah, and then try to stay with him.
That dude can absolutely sprint a downhill. The only other person who I've never got a chance to formally meet, and it truly makes me sad to know that I never got to meet her, was the Purple Lady. Her name was Colleen. And it really does. It sucks. Like, if you go back through like really, really, really old, it doesn't have to be really old. It can only be as much as 5 years. If you go back from photos 5 years ago and older, you'll see there. She's 100% into pictures. She always wore purple. She was always out there. She was the greatest supporter and cheerleader for every runner. She did not, from what I understand, she never met someone she didn't support and cheer and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
for everything she was worth. So she was, so this is how well loved and respected was. She passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah, and so the year after, I believe, she passed away, the race shirt for Mo was purple in her honor. So if you see people running around with the purple Mo 100 shirt, that shirt is from the year after she passed away. And that's how much respect and love she had at Mo that they went ahead and like made the shirt her color. So that's who she is and what she was. And it's important to know, even though I never met her and she's passed away and she's no longer with us, it's important to always remember her because she was that important and that integral to making Mo an awesome race for many, many, many years. So she does not need to ever be forgotten.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, guys, that's Mohican. I mean, we tried to simplify it as much as possible, but those out there running it, you'll see it. And if it's your first time, enjoy it. It's going to suck. It's going to be tough. I've never done a race out there. I did Part of Forget the PR, so some of those trails, and then John for his Mohican finish, I did the third loop with him and just tripped over my feet the entire time, which was great. So I only got to see Mohican at the dark. My first time at Mohican, and it's at night.
Got to see it through a headlamp.
Yeah, see everything through a headlamp. So definitely enjoy it, take it in. But don't, like John said, don't take it for granted because it'll smack you.
And don't worry, because it doesn't always get worse.
It doesn't always get worse. There's plenty of times.
One of the best finishes I've seen, or I didn't see it. I'll take that back a little bit. One of the best finishes I know of at Mo, the person, their wheels were all the way off the cart at the 50K mark, and still managed.
You talking about the one that was missing the cutoff? So you finished?
No. This is Chad Hield.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, he was all the way fucked up at the 50K mark. And he just kept, hey, man, it doesn't always get worse. And he just kept pushing through it. And then ended up knocking that thing out.
I mean, because Nick Longworth, when you finished it,
oh my God,
he was
holy
puking,
shit,
couldn't keep down food, between like his pacers and just the will to not stop.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pushing cutoffs the entire time.
They rode him like a fucking sled dog, and he just kept grinding.
Yep.
He was literally beating cutoffs by minutes.
Yeah.
By minute. I believe there was an aid station where he got to it. They're like, dude, you can't stop.
Yeah, the aid station is if you stop, you're going to miss the cutoff.
Yeah, the aid station is like, hey man, listen, you are right ahead of cutoff. We can't. We hear this. Take this. Go. Keep moving. We can't have you stop here.
Yeah.
And they basically chased him out to make sure he stayed ahead of the cutoff.
He finished.
And he finished.
Yeah, he was pretty messed up for a while.
Fucked up. Well, he had a stress fracture.
Yeah.
He ended up having a broken fucking foot. And he ran the rest of that bitch in it. Yeah. Old Nick Longworth. That's a tough motherfucker too.
He's something else too with that. But yeah, so you guys enjoy Mohican. If you're not running or not racing or not doing anything this weekend, head up there. I'm going to try to be up there on Saturday, maybe a little on Sunday if I can get out there in the morning. But it's just a great thing just to see people and helping people. All the aid stations. There's a lot of possum run aid stations this year.
Gorge Overlook is a hardcore possum.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to head up there to volunteer Saturday morning with them. But yeah, come out there and be like, hey, can you guys use me for a few hours?
Yeah.
And they'll definitely find something for you to do and support, or even if it's just hanging at aid stations and cheering people in or the start finish.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of things for people to do, but just seeing people push themselves to the limit.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
it is absolutely nuts.
And like I said, there's videos. There's not only my video, for a shameless plug for my video, there's a bunch of other videos out there from race reports and stuff like that of kind of talking through the process and seeing people. I will say
Flo's video is the best.
I appreciate it. Just because you're the star of it.
There is a sexy motherfucker in there.
There's a pretty man. I was just looking at it the other day. I'm like, John had a fresh haircut and everything. He was fresh. He was looking for good pictures.
What's funny is the other part of that video that still cracks me up every now and then is the morning getting ready. It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I think we're talking about someone shitting in the bathroom, destroying the bathroom.
Jen talking about, did you go to the bathroom? And you're like, did you go to the bathroom and get me in trouble?
It was funny. It wasn't me. I swear.
It wasn't me either.
Someone shit in that bathroom and destroyed it. And just oh my God.
Must have been Jen.
It was Jen.
She was sleep shitting.
Yeah. Then she just wants to pass it off on us.
Yeah. But yeah, so our weekly events, Mo. That's what we got.
Nothing else matters. Let's be honest.
Yeah, this upcoming weekend. Yes, it's Father's Day weekend. Sorry, Mo.
Yeah, Mo. It's funny because the last couple of years, Jen's you're kind of easy on Father's Day. All you ask for is running around the woods in the dark for 30 hours.
Is that easier? It'd probably be a lot easier to be here's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Speaking of. You like that segue? That's a segue right there. Father's Day gift.
That's some pro level shit.
So you guys may have seen it on Facebook. We'll have a video coming out soon that'll probably be on the website too. And we've got a t-shirt. We've officially got a t-shirt.
They're fucking fresh.
And they're super nice. We can't wait to get ours. The order is through a campaign company. So we basically said, hey, we're trying to do some fundraising stuff. Let's make a shirt. So the campaign goes until the end of the month, or is it the 28th, I think?
21st.
Is it the 21st?
Yeah, that's that. Oh, no, it's 21 days long.
It's 21 days long. I think it's the 28th is when it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 21-day campaign for us to sell these T-shirts. So there are our logo on the front, Running Beer and BS. There's 3 different styles. There's a regular T-shirt, a V-neck, and a women's slim fit. Which Kayla was telling me that like I need to reach out to the company because apparently the size chart is like weird. She's like, yeah, it says like your bust is 16. She's like, no one.
Is that small?
Yeah, yeah.
I think my bust is bigger than 16.
Yeah, well, for sure. Mine is, and I'm a skinny bit. Yeah, so I got to reach out to them about that. But there's multiple styles, multiple colors. Definitely get your order in. The reason I say that is because none of the proceeds are coming to us. All of the proceeds, as you guys know, we support our community in any way we can, and we were like, hey, we want to do T-shirts so you basically can rock our brand because people have been asking for T-shirts and gear, but we don't want to make money off this. This is not about us. So all of the proceeds are going to support Military Veterans Resource Center here in Columbus. So they support veterans in a wide range of things, of like helping them find jobs, helping them getting like back into civilian life,
suicide prevention among veterans.
Yeah, there's
all kinds of
so
stuff.
many things that they do. So you can check them out on Facebook. They have a Facebook page and a website as well. I think it's just mvrc.com.
Yeah.
Where you can find all the information, but definitely pick up one of the T-shirts. You can order it in these next 21 days, and then it ships, I think, early July. It'll ship, but it'll make a great Father's Day present. You just order it now, and like I said,
you can just show them the email.
Yeah, and they'll be perfectly okay with it.
Yeah.
They're like, what's Running Beer and BS? It's like, Dad, you should listen to this. It doesn't matter. I might get one for my dad just for like shits and giggles. Like, what is
Here,
this?
Dad,
Like,
rock this around
just
Florida.
wear this all the time.
Yeah.
I got the light pink tee.
I went with the deep V cut.
Yeah, John's the only one that's ordered a V-neck as of now.
Yeah, I love that V cut.
But it's really great. I mean, we were trying to figure out a way to support the community. We had a few listeners say, we did like a feedback session.
Yeah.
And they came back and said, hey, we really like to see like you guys use the brand to support the community. And we're like, we would love to do that, but how can we do that? And this is a way we can do it.
This is it.
So that's what we're doing. And yeah, so buy a T-shirt. They're not $20.
Yeah.
They're $20, like $4 or $5 shipping.
Yeah. Because I think mine totaled out to 24 and change.
Yeah, so $25
Yep.
for a T-shirt.
Now,
with
here's
shipping.
what's cool. Here's what's cool, guys, is you're going to pay $24 or $25. Let's just round it up to 25. You're going to pay $25 a T-shirt, right? Well, the more T-shirts that get bought by you guys, it's going to reduce
the cost
of the T-shirts and reduce the unit cost. So as that unit cost goes down, that means that more money is then given to MVARC. So the more you guys buy, the cheaper the shirts, and the more money MVARC gets. Yeah. So the same amount of money is going into the pool.
Right.
It's just less needs to be pulled out for the shirts.
Less is actually paying for the T-shirt.
Yep. Buy the shirts. Support, the veterans around Central Ohio.
Yeah.
The only other thing that's kind of cool that this is from John Welcome. He actually now, truth of the matter, John Welcome put this on Possum page.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, look at this, and I poached it. So John Welcome posted on Possum page a app called Pool, PULLL.
3 L's.
So 3 L's. And essentially what this app does is anytime you log a run, a ride, or a walk on Strava or Map My Run, I believe is the other one it'll pull information from. As long as you log a run, walk, or ride on one of those 2 apps, it will pull that information and then donate to Pelotonia based off from how many miles you rode.
Yeah, based off your activity.
Ran. Now, so like if you ride, it gives a little bit less. If you run, it gives a little bit more. I'd assume if you walk, it gives even more than running. I don't know.
Who knows?
But it's cool. Like I just downloaded it. I don't know, Friday, I believe.
That sounds right. I think you posted it on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, so I just downloaded it. So I've logged 2 runs on it. and I have already raised $5.18.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So I mean, okay, $5.18.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're all doing it,
it's literally $5.18
for nothing
for something I was going to do anyways.
Yeah, you're literally already going to run, so might as well.
Yeah, so it's just kind of cool. So yeah, if you want, check that out. I think it's a pretty cool app. So again, that's from John Welcome. Posted that. And
we talked about last week. We were getting some new likes. We've got a few more new likes this week from like all over the place,
rolling,
which is so
weird.
great. I got a Instagram message, or we got an Instagram message on the podcast from Mike from Sylvania, Ohio. Apparently, he ran Possum. Was his first Possum, his second ultra. He had done a 24-hour race up in his neck of the woods, and just got hooked to the podcast that way, and
That's
it's like
awesome.
digging it. So we're sending Mike, your sticker is in the mail, so you should be getting that early this week. But he said it's called a 24-hour. It's called the Olander 24-hour Ultra.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of it. I said I think I may have heard of that, but he said he's going to try to head up to Mohican or Forget the PR next year.
Yeah, dude, Forget the PR.
To do that. But yeah, thanks Mike for reaching out and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're a new listener, or even an old listener and hasn't reached out at all, just reach out to us on the socials, slide in them DMs, and we'll send you a sticker.
Oh, you know what else? I think we should start encouraging. To steal the words of a wise man, it's not bragging it if I ask you to share with me. So after you do some awesome runs on like Saturdays, some cool races, or on Saturdays and Sundays after you do some cool races, show off some bling.
Yeah.
Post some bling on the Facebook page. Show them what you accomplished.
Yeah, you could post it on our page or just use the hashtag RunBeerandBS and we'll share it.
You know what? Who knows? Yeah, if you post it on your own page, if you're just like, hey, friends and families, check out what I did. Throw our hashtag on it. Yeah. Let everybody see it. It's not bragging if we're asking you to show us. Again,
that's right.
Stole that from a wise old man.
Yeah. Is he old? It's probably not nice to call him old.
He's still more of a badass than I am, though.
Well, I didn't say he was not a badass. I'm saying.
So, who knows? You throw something on there and it's like super awesome. You might motivate somebody to do something.
Yeah.
So,
you'd be surprised how much power you have just in telling your story. You're like, this isn't much. I don't want to brag or anything, but you know what? That could be the push that someone needed to just go to the next level, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, reach out to us on social media. We're on all the social medias at RunBeerandBS. We want to hear about your training runs. See that bling. Give us beer recommendations, topic ideas. Those that are doing Mo, we hope to hear from you. If we don't see you there, definitely hope to hear from you. There'll probably be some stickers. There's definitely going to be some stickers.
Hear from you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't be live tweeting shit.
Yeah. Don't have your phone on you just tweeting like just past mile 20 and like a selfie, because I'm going to call you out.
I don't know. You know what? If you want to live tweet some shit at like 75-mile mark,
maybe.
Let's see.
Wait till the fourth loop.
Let's see some pretty faces in the dark.
Fourth loop.
Actually, that'd be pretty fucking.
Do that.
That'd be pretty badass.
Cool. Run beer and BS at night.
Show us some suck face at 85-mile mark.
Exactly. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Run Beer and BS. You can also find us at our home on the web at runningbeerandbs.com. You can find all of the show notes from this episode, the Mohican video, making fun of John's refrigerator, the brewery, Yeehaw Brewing. All that stuff will be on our show notes at runningbeerandbs.com/EP022 for episode 22. I don't know did you check the email?
No, I don't have access.
You don't have it on your
email.
phone? No. You should have access. You have access to it. We just got to.
I just don't have it on my phone.
Yeah, so I have it on my phone. Josh sent us an email. He's like, so you guys can stop bitching about nobody sending you emails. Does this thing work?
That's awesome.
So I said to my email, thank you for sending us an email. But you can reach us at podcast@runningbeerandbs.com.
Dude, that is the best ever. That's what kind of listeners we need.
Yeah, that's what we need. But yeah, shoot us an email. If you don't have social media, you can do it that way too. Yeah. Can you just stop complaining about it? Like, no, we're going to keep saying it until we get an email.
I want more.
Yeah, that was literally the subject line is this thing working? Or something to that effect.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, that is everything here. John, you got anything else for him?
I got nothing. Be good to one another.
Sounds good. You guys have a great week.
Peace.